Welcome to the Obsessed or Not Interested podcast. I am your host, Mindy Wonder-Quario, and I'm a small town go-to girl next door who is obsessed with helping others see more for themselves so they can thrive in all areas of life. I love researching all the things like wellness, mindset, relationships, you name it. If I'm obsessed with it, I get hyper-focused on it and I research the crap out of it, and then I share it with you. If those are things that you're also obsessed with, then keep listening and let's become new best friends. Let's talk morning routine. This episode, I am going to break down exactly step by step every single thing I do in my morning routine. And the thing is about this episode, I'm probably going to have to do another one 6 months from now because I'm always editing it and like making it better and maybe adding if I find something new or whatever. Like I just added journaling to my morning routine. I think it was maybe a year ago, 6 months ago, I just started consistently doing journaling as a part of my morning routine. And now I feel like I got it figured out. This is literally what is helping me 10x my goals. It's so crazy. I have wanted to start a podcast for, I don't know, years and years and years, right? And I kept putting it down on my goal sheet, kept doing it, but I wasn't consistent with my morning routine. And then a year ago, I decided to do like a 40-day detox. And in that detox, yes, I removed alcohol and gluten and dairy and processed foods and things like that, but I also added things. So here's just a tip. Sometimes when we often hear of like taking things away and like all that kind of stuff when you're thinking of detox or doing 75 hard or whatever, but it's also adding things. You have to kind of flip the switch in your brain that you're not just taking things away, you're adding things that are going to make you feel amazing in your everyday life. So for me, that was being consistent with my morning routine. And that changed the game. When I was 40 days without missing a day of doing this routine that I'm going to share with you today, that's when I really started to dream big again. I was doing like a lot of big goal setting and dreaming big, but it like stopped. I feel like I was just feeling, I don't know if it was like burnout or whatever it was. And it was probably not being on my game, like with my morning routine and with the things that are easy to do that are also easy not to do. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, okay, well, I don't have to listen to this podcast today. I don't have to read a personal growth book. I don't have to read my Bible. It's fine if I miss a couple days and then those couple days turn into a couple weeks. And it's fine if I skip my workout here and there. And it's just there's no consistency in your life and you become very wishy-washy and you get bored. You don't feel alive anymore. You're not motivated. And again, action creates motivation. I've said this before in this podcast. We always are waiting to feel motivated. And really what it is taking those first steps, even if they're small baby steps. That's the action steps we need to start to slowly but surely start to feel motivated again. And then that motivation over time and being consistent with your action, then you create momentum and then whoosh, you take off. It's insane. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I'm going to just break down my morning routine and exactly what I do. And then if you have any questions or want to share your morning routine, I want to feature some of you guys on the podcast. So first of all, if you could do me a huge solid, and if you're on Spotify, just hit the it's right on the show. I think it's like a rate and review. It's stars. First of all, could you follow this podcast? Second of all, can you rate it? And if you're on Apple Podcasts, could you I think you have to scroll all the way down and click write a review. And if you could write a review, those things mean so much to me and I would love to feature that. Make sure you write me a DM letting me know that you had done that. And I'm going to feature you on our Instagram. But also just, it means so much to me. When I read your words that you took time out of your day to do that, it means the world. But then also after you're done doing that and you follow the show and rate and review it, because that just helps the show reach more people where we can help more women and men and just everyone who clicks with us. I feel like we're all, if you're listening to this consistently, you're my people because you're like me. So we want to make this podcast be able to reach more people like us so it can serve them like it serves us. Because this serves me just as much as it serves you guys. Okay, Then I want you to go to @obsessedornotinterested or @MindyWender on Instagram. I want to hear your morning routine because I want to share it, because my morning routine doesn't mean that it's like perfect for everybody. So I'm going to feature your just a little portion of your morning routine. Just send me a DM and then I'm going to share it on my stories on both accounts. Okay. So what I like to do, and do I do this every single day? No, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'm up with the kids late at night or whatever happens, right? Life gets in the way. We're human. We're parents. We're whatever. But what if this was like my perfect ideal day? This is what I would like to do. Get up at 5:30 or 6 a.m. So you pick a time, but you have to have a time set in stone. That's my recommendation, because then it's wishy-washy. If you're like, oh, get up when I get up, it's just not the same. Have it be a plan. What time every single day are you going to get up in the morning? Set your alarm and get up. And then pretty soon, trust me, you're not going to need an alarm because your body will be the alarm clock and you're going to be going to bed earlier. And I'll get into my nighttime routine too on this episode. But make sure you set a time that you want to wake up every morning. So that's what I do. I get up and I don't press snooze. I get out of bed. And once I get out of bed, I don't go right to the coffee pot, because if you heard my episode with Dr. Melissa Vandermissen, she was saying how, especially for women, it's not good to have coffee on an empty stomach or right away in the morning. Also, Huberman says this on his podcast, that it's not good to do it right away in the morning. So what happened to me is I was drinking it right away in the morning, and I text message my holistic functional medicine doctor, which is Dr. Melissa Vandermissen. And I just said, dude, I look 4 months pregnant lately and I don't know what it is and blah, blah, blah. So we went back and forth and we discovered, let's try not doing coffee on an empty stomach. And that was for sure a big part of my issue. So instead, what I do is I try not to have coffee for the first 30 minutes of my morning routine. If you can't do that, whatever, do your best, right? I think some people are saying 90 minutes of hydration and doing other things. So if you can do 90 minutes, great. I try to do 30 minutes. If I get longer, great. So in that 30 minutes, what do I do? So I go to the kitchen and I make my morning Stanley cup of water. Or I also use Hydro Jug. It's like a big jug. I don't even know. I think it might be like 64 ounces. And I like to use that as well. But lately I've been using my Stanley mug because I lost my Hydro Jug and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, got a new one, but now I'm just stuck on the Stanley. So it's like the 40-ounce one. And I put a whole lemon. I squeeze a whole lemon into that water. I use spring water. And then I also put a hydrogen tablet in that. So all of the things, what I'm telling you is I hydrate. That's basically what I'm telling you. I am obsessed with hydration. So I maximize that. And then I also put trace minerals in my water. So that's step one. Then I move over to my little supplement compartment, and I like to take a couple of my supplements. I fill up my water with spring water, like a little glass jar that I drink my supplements in the morning out of. And I put like 8 ounces of water in there, and I put a scoop of something called Power Greens, which helps your pH levels of the body. And you don't want your body to be too acidic. And I could go on and about that. So I put a scoop of that in my water. Then I put electrolytes and hyaluronic acid. It's something called Pique, Pique. I believe that's how it's spelled. If you go in the show notes right now, you're going to see my link for that, and also a 15% off code. So that I put that in there. And also I can give you the links for all the things I talk about. It'll all be in the show notes. So make sure you check that out. Direct links, and most of these things I have a discount code for you, so you can use those. I put that in there, and then there's times that I put some other things in there. I usually weight collagen I use in my coffee or in my matcha. I don't usually put it in this concoction that I make. And then I will take a probiotic at that time. And let me think, what else? So I put my electrolytes / hyaluronic acid, which is all good for your skin and good for hydration, my Power Greens, and then I stir that up, and then I take 2 other supplements. So first of all, I just put those 2 things together, stir it up with my little electric stirrer thing, and then I down that kind of like a shot. So that's my morning supplement concoction. my morning cocktail, if you will. And then I take a probiotics, and this probiotic that I've been taking right now is working well with me. Another one I like is Just Thrive probiotics. But this other one is a packet, and it kind of tastes like a pixie stick, but you just down it. I just put it right down the hatch. Okay. And then I take my, I forget what this is called. It's colostrum. Is it ARMARA? I think that's how you say it. ARMARA Colostrum. So I just take the scoop out of the thing. You can mix this with other things. I'd get the unflavored kind, and I just do a scoop or two down the hatch and swallow it. That's it. And then I go to my vanity, which right now we had a house fire. So my vanity's in my master bedroom / living room / kitchen. Yeah. We're moving in 1 month, people. I can't wait. Or a little over a month. So I go to my vanity and I bring my water there, and sometimes I'll turn on a podcast. Lately, what I've been doing is taking my Bible app and I do the Bible recap. That's what I'm following along with. And I'll do my Bible recap, and then I'll listen to the podcast part of that. But on your Bible recap in the YouVersion Bible app, there's a what do you mean? A feature that the person will read it to you. So sometimes I'll have the person read it to me, like my app read it for me, because I'm doing my skincare and I'm trying to habit stack. Okay. That works for me. Habit stacking, as you can tell just now, what did I just do? My morning water, I get up in the morning, get out of bed. My morning water is stacked. It's got lemon water that helps detox you, helps with hydration, helps with skin. So same thing with my hydrogen tablet that I put in there. Same thing with my minerals. I'm habit stacking because all of those things are going in one water. And then I'm habit stacking because I'm going over to my supplement cocktail and I'm putting a couple things in there. And then also right next to, like, all my supplements are stacked on each other in the same location. So I'm not forgetting to take my colostrum. The colostrum, by the way, helps boost your immune system, helps give you energy, all the things. Though the link for that will be in the show notes, also with a percentage off. Okay. So see what I'm doing though. I'm habit stacking. Now I'm going to my vanity and I'm drinking my water. So I'm hydrating, and then I'm doing my skincare routine. So also I go in the bathroom, quickly wash my face. Sometimes I wash it with soap. Sometimes I don't. Okay. So I know there's conflicting information about that. Sometimes I can feel my face. Do I feel like I need to wash this face again? Most of the time I don't. I just splash it with water, dry it, go do my skincare. So while I'm sitting there, now I'm habit stacking because I'm hydrating, I'm doing my skincare routine, and I'm listening to my Bible recap. Boom, boom, boom. And so then the skincare routine, you guys have heard this many times. I use herbal face food. The link is in the show notes. Or if you go to my Instagram account @MindyWender, you can get 20% off. And I want you to message me or hear me out. Don't just go order without talking to me, because I don't want you buying serum 2 or 3. This episode isn't skincare, so I'm not going to go into it, but please start with the smaller bottles. That's just a little life hack for you. Because I want you to try it. But this is actually, it's an investment for your skincare. But what happened when I started investing in this is I removed all the other things. So then the investment made sense, and plus it works, and it's no crap in it. It's all plants. But don't go to get the big bottles and do serum 2 or 3, because you got to get your skin used to this stuff. I started with a small bottle, serum 1, and the cure, because the cure is the spot treatment. So that's what I do in my skincare routine is I do the cure, which is spot treatment. Then I do serum 1 or 2. I'm on serum 2 right now. And then I put on my C cream. So it's vitamin C cream, also is an SPF, really good for your face and the antioxidants and all the things. So I put that on my face, let that sit, put my hair up or whatever. And then I'm going to my sauna to do the second half of my morning routine. So that's like I call it my pregame to the morning routine. So that's just a way for me to get like 30 minutes in, not drinking coffee, not doing much, and just hydrating and getting my stuff together. Sometimes I'll have to change into what I want to wear into the sauna, whether it be, I'd never wear a swimsuit, but I have to change my environment to change my awareness when I do my morning routine. The reason why is when you change your environment, it changes your awareness, like I just said, and you're more likely to focus. You're not distracted by like, oh, I got to do this today. I got to do that today. No, you're focused on what you need to focus on. Okay, wait, did you not know that we had podcast merch? Because we do. Yes, the Hyper Focus Journal is on there as well, but we have coffee mugs, travel mugs, sweatshirts, t-shirts, cute hats, all the things. And also, it is just a great way to support the show. So if you are liking the show so far, please continue to share it, make sure you rate it. But also another great way to support the show is by getting merch. So head over to hyperfocusmentor.com, use the code OBSESSED at checkout for free shipping. Again, that's hyperfocusmentor.com. Use the code OBSESSED at checkout for free shipping, and you can get some today. Now, I've been doing this for over 15 years, you guys. How I used to change my environment was going in my car. Honestly, I used to go in my car to review my goals and do my to-do list. Obviously, my morning routine has evolved since then. But I used to actually go to my car every day, and that's where I would do it. Or if I I would hang out in my car after dropping the kids off at school or something, and I would hang out in my car. Actually, I remember when I worked full time, I'd get to work and I'd sit in my car and do my morning routine sometimes then if I hadn't done it at home. So, I mean, I've always been this person that changes my environment. Now I like to go in my infrared sauna. And the reason why I like the infrared sauna, there's so many health benefits to it. It's detoxing. It helps with your brain, helps heal the brain. There's just so many things. It helps with pain relief. It helps relax you. It could be cardio, like all the things. There's so many benefits. But honestly, why I like to do it on a daily is because it's like that thing in my brain that's like, okay, morning routine activated now once I get in there, because I'm changing my environment, which changes my awareness. So when I go in the sauna, this might sound crazy. Most of the time I will bring a coffee in there because now I've done all the things like my hydration. I've waited a little bit. Oh, and then one other thing is I like to have something in my stomach before I have coffee. And again, Dr. Melissa went through this on a podcast episode. Look for that. And if it hasn't come out yet, if this comes out before, it'll be next week. So it's going to be, if it's not last week, it's this coming week. Okay. I batch podcasts. So sometimes I'm like, wait, when are those coming out? So I like to have something, and she'll explain why on that podcast, but I like to have something in my stomach because, like I said, I was getting very bloated with the first thing putting in my stomach was coffee. So now I do the hydration with my water, I do my supplements, and then I either do a half a banana, a hard-boiled egg, a half of Shakeology. And what Shakeology is my protein shake, but it has also like 34 different superfoods in it. So it's like superfoods, probiotics, vitamins, minerals, and like all the things, plus like 15 plus grams of protein. So I like to have either a full one or a half of one. I just quickly shake it and down it before I go in the sauna, before I have my coffee. Then I'll make my coffee, and in my coffee, I do put collagen in my coffee. And I use, again, you can look in the show notes, but I use BODi Collagen. I've used so many collagens, and I keep just coming back to this one. I'll be listening to a podcast and this is the best collagen. You have to use it, and you have to use liquid collagen. I swear, I've tried them all, and I keep coming back to this one. This is the one works. And even this one works. And even my nail lady and my hair girl notice when I'm not using Beachbody collagen. So it's like, I notice. I never, ever, these are my natural nails. You can't see unless you're watching the video, but my natural nails, they never break. I never am like, oh, I broke a nail, except for when I'm run out, because I'm never really off of it unless I've run out. If I run out of collagen, they're breaking. Okay, I digress, but that's also part of it. So then I'm going with my coffee. I know that might sound weird because I'm going into a hot box, a infrared sauna, and I'm drinking something hot. But hey, this is just what works for me. I like to have my coffee in the morning. And Joey's like, I don't even know why you drink coffee. You never finish it. I'm always dumping out your whatever. I like to have my coffee, whether I finish it or not. So when I get into the sauna, I sit there and I like to pull out my Bible and spend time with God. So I'll read out of my Bible. And yes, I've already done the Bible recap. Sometimes I like to read what I just have listened to in the Bible recap, or I'll read something else. And I might, sometimes I'm going in order, sometimes I'm not. So I like to read from the Bible. And then after I do a couple minutes or whatever, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes of reading in my Bible, the next thing is, so that's step one. Step two of my morning routine is I like to pray. So some people like to meditate. Some people like to do journaling, which I do, but I do it in a different order. But my step two is I like to quiet my mind and sit there in silence and just pray on what I read or pray about something. And sometimes I'm just asking God, show me something, give me a word, give me a phrase, whatever you want me to know, or guide me, and just thanking him. And then I just sit there and I listen. I listen for his voice. I listen for a feeling, a word, whatever. And sometimes I don't get that, guys. I know that there's other people that you probably listen to that are like, oh, God spoke to me 5 minutes ago and today and tonight. And okay, sometimes I get nothing. And sometimes I get a good idea. And sometimes I get like a vision of like what I just read, and I like start visualizing something. So whatever it is, I just spend a little time praying. And then after I kind of spend time being quiet and listening, then I'll actually pray and pray over my children, my husband, my family, my life, and mostly just asking God, thanking God for all the blessings. Thank you, God, for our health. And then I just ask him, hey, you're in control. And that's a good reminder to remind myself, God is in control of this day. So I thank you for giving me this day. Thank you for our health. Thank you for my children. And God, I just ask you, guide me down the right path. Send me the right people, the opportunity, give me the right words. Just guide me and guide my family and guide my children and all the things. So I just spent, and it doesn't take long. That's probably, again, that prayer time is probably about 5 minutes. So right now we'd probably be at like 15 to 20 minutes. And then step three is I like to take out my hyper-focused journal, and you're not on video, but I'm pulling it out right next to you. Well, so if you are listening, but on the daily pages, it actually has a spot for thoughts and ideas. And it's just a blank page. Every single day you have a blank page. So you have your daily page and then your blank page. So I like to just take that out during this time and journal any thoughts that came to mind. And then I like to journal, who do you want to be today? I like just whatever questions. Sometimes during my prayer or during my morning reading, something comes to mind and I need to write it down because otherwise it's gone. If you have ADHD, you get it. So I like to just say, okay, this is what I got out of the reading today. This was so good. Why was it good? What did it mean to me? And then other days, if I didn't get anything, I'll ask myself the question. And then in my journaling, I write it. So I ask myself, who do I want to show up as today? What do I want to accomplish? How can I serve somebody today? And I just take a couple minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes, to journal whatever comes to mind. Okay. Could it be a prompt, or it could be something that I thought about, or an idea? And so that's step 3 is journaling. Then step 4 is reviewing. Well, actually step 4 is doing affirmations and gratitude. I like to start there. And then so I like to write down just a few I am statements. Now, this isn't woohoo. I'm so sick of people saying that. This is, sometimes we are human and we are on Instagram and social media, and there are times where we're seeing everybody else's highlight reel. And we're seeing all these perfect people, or we're getting negative comments, or we have bad situations happening in our lives right now, and there's drama, or there's a loss, or we're struggling. So I am statements can help us remind ourselves who we are, who God sees us as. And it's sometimes good to just sit there and think about that. Yeah, who does God see me as? I am driven. Who am I? Like, remind yourself who you know you are deep down, but you're letting these outside sources derail you from who you are. And that's BS. So when people are like, oh, affirmations and yada, no, I am a Christian woman and I believe in affirmations and I believe they help you. And I think that if you're writing all these crazy things that they're not going to work. So I don't know why they're bad, but to me, I'm just like, I am a child of God. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am driven. I am confident. I have purpose. I'm determined. I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me. So you just can go on and on and on, but those things empower you to say those things and remind yourself of those things and write them down and then say them out loud. And what happens is that when you say these things out loud every single day, it's going in your subconscious mind and you're actually going to start believing these things. So they're reminders of things that you already know deep down and how God sees you. And now you're just solidifying that and like really reframing self-limiting beliefs and replacing the self-limiting beliefs with these solid foundational beliefs. I'm a big believer on this. And again, this takes 2 seconds. So step 4, I do my affirmations and then also my gratitude. I like to write something down, 1 to 2 things that I'm grateful for that day. And it could just be something simple. Like today I wrote down, I'm grateful that my son is feeling better because he had been sick with the flu for a couple of days. That was simple enough for me. That's something I'm very grateful for. And I write it down on paper. Step 5 is I like to review my goals. So if you haven't written down your goals yet, I would suggest getting a hyper-focus journal, or you don't have to get this journal, but following the steps in, I don't know, I'll get you the episodes. So in a couple episodes ago on the Obsessed or Not Interested show, I went over a lot of the ways that I goal set, and the ways that I do all that and like reverse engineering your goals. That is you could listen to episode 7, which is Design Your Dream Life, or episode 5, which is Goals and Vision Obsessed. And then also there's episode 4, which is Productivity Obsessed. So that all 3 of those episodes would be really helpful, especially episode 5 and 7. Those are the ones I would recommend. But let's just say you're somebody who does set goals. What I personally believe is I set long-term goals and then I reverse engineer those to break those down to smaller goals. And then I have short-term goals. And then I circle the 3 top goals. I call these my hyper-focus goals. And those are the goals that I believe that if I focus on those for the next, 3 to 5 months or 3 to 6 months, those will make all the other goals happen or possible. You know what I mean? So I circle those 3 and I call those my 3 hyper-focus goals. So every single day, step 5, I go back to my short-term goals. I review all 10 of them. And then I go and in my daily page of my journal. So on that daily page, just to recap, there's 2 pages on the daily pages. You get one that is prompted daily routine. Okay. And then the second page is just a blank page that says thoughts and ideas, where you can journal, write good ideas that you have down, or prayers or prompts or whatever. Okay. So on this daily page, you're going to see the affirmations that I write every single day. And the I am is already written out for you. And there's multiple lines. So that's already done for you. So it's prompting you to do those things. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to be like, what's the next step? No, the journal keeps me organized. That's why I created it. And then you'll see a spot that says gratitude. You write that in, and then you'll see a spot, step 5, 3 hyper-focus goals. So I write my top 3 hyper-focus goals down. I rewrite them every single day. Why do I do that? It's because we write down these goals and then we put them away and we never look at them again, or we look at them once a week or once a month or once a quarter, maybe even once a year. That's all wrong. We need to be focused on these every single day and rewriting them every single day. And here's why. It's because wherever your focus goes, energy flows. Whatever you focus on expands. And you will hear me if you go back to episode 5 and 7, where I talk about this. There's something that we have in our brains, in the back of our brains, right above the neck, called the RAS, Reticular Activating System. So what this does, it will filter out things that are important to us and bring more of those things into our awareness. Things that aren't important to us and aren't really in our awareness, they're not going to show us those things. So by rewriting them and reviewing your goals every single day, you're activating your RAS, and it's going to bring all of these things into your awareness. The right people, the right opportunities, all the things. You're going to be like, wow, my life is really changing quickly. And this is why this journal or doing these steps, again, I always say, come back to this journal, but the reason why is because it's a done for you system. If you can do this system in a plain journal or plain notebook from Walmart, okay? This is just a done for you system, which I need because I have ADHD and I just don't have time to be wishy-washy and dilly-dallying all around. Okay. Got 5 kids. Okay. Got a lot of goals to figure out and I need to stay focused. So if you're like me, this would be good for you. So rewriting these goals every single day is going to help you stay focused and your eyes on the prize. And then also when you're writing them down, your brain will be like, my goal is to get to, gain whatever amount of followers on Instagram that will help me be able to reach more women and serve more women. Let's just say that's a goal. It's one of the women I mentor. She had mentioned that was one of her goals. So I'm just using that. So she wants to get more followers in the next 90 days. And that will help her. The why, I always like to have a strong why behind my goals because that's what drives us. Like, why are we doing this? Why do you don't want more followers just to be more popular? You're going to get burnt out on that. It's to serve more women. Yes, that's the why that matters. That's going to drive you every single day to show up for your goals. So if that's her thing and she's writing that down every single day, boom, she's thinking of ways, how am I getting to that goal? So that leads me to, this can all be in step 5 actually, where I rewrite my hyper-focus goals and then I do my hyper-focus to-do list. So these are to-dos in my brain after I'm writing them down. Like, what can I do today? These are just short, easy tasks, by the way. These aren't like hour to 2 hour tasks or day-long tasks. You got to get these done within 15 minutes in order for it to be one task. Okay. So I write down, 5 to 10 ways on how to-dos that will lead me towards those 3 hyper-focus goals in the next 3 to 6 months. Then I write down my daily to-do list. This is just a brain dump to-do list. Like, I have to go to Lane's game tonight. I have to do a podcast interview. I have to do laundry. Whatever is on your daily to-do list that you don't want to forget, I write that down. This is also going to help you with gaining peace every single day. Peace and clarity and calmness, and you're not going to be scattered. You're not going to lose time with your loved ones. Sometimes we're just so all over the place because we aren't doing this morning routine. Once you get addicted to your morning routine, by the way, you're going to be like, how did I live without this? And when you don't do it and you skip a day, you're going to feel naked. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm scattered. I'm crabby. I have anxiety. That's how you'll feel. Once you create a routine with this and do it consistently and then skip a day, that's how you'll feel. So why a morning routine? This is just mine, but however you want to do it, this helps me is because I don't feel so scattered every single day. I don't feel like busy and overwhelmed and like, I don't even know what to do next. So I'm sitting here and I have all this stuff to do and I don't know where to start. By writing your to-do list down, even if it's go to Lane's basketball game, I don't need to be reminded that I have to go to my kid's game. I can't wait. I think about it all day. But it helps me just organize and see my day on paper before my day begins. And then it also frees you. You will be more efficient with your day. So it's going to free up more time with your loved ones. You're not going to feel scattered. You're not going to get crabby with your husband or wife. You're not going to get crabby with your kids or short with your kids because you're still working when they come in the door after school, or you get the point. You're going to feel so much peace and calmness. I promise you. I guarantee it. Okay. And then I like to read something, or I have like a checklist that's like my morning routine checklist. Did I read? Did I drink my water? Did I hydrate? Did I get my steps in or work out? Did I listen to an audio? I honestly, you guys, part of my daily routine that is just like a daily routine non-negotiable is listening to an audiobook or a podcast. And if I listen to my audiobook, I usually do that for like 20 minutes if I'm listening to one. But I'm like, if I'm in the shower, if I'm in my car, if I'm on a walk, whatever I'm doing, it's like, why not listen to a podcast? It's feeding my soul. Even if it's like, I have some that don't teach me, like some of my favorite ones, Ed Mylett, hands down one of my favorite ones. I love The Skinny Confidential. I'm always learning from theirs, but they're also entertaining. But then I listen to some like Not Skinny But Not Fat with Amanda Hirsch. I love her. And hers is great. And then I'm like a reality star or reality TV show junkie. So I like to listen to Heather McDonald's, or like I mentioned on a past episode, Oops, I Did It. Oops, I Gossiped Again. That's my friend Brittany's podcast where she talks Bravo and all the drama and all the things. And I'm a Bravo junkie. It's my guilty pleasure and I don't care. Make fun of me. But you're probably not, because we're probably alike and you probably like it too. So anyways, let me get back to this. So my daily routine checklist is on this journal as well, but you can craft your own. So just write out like what your daily routine is. And then once you do, like, hit your steps, drink 100 ounces or 80 ounces, listen to something, read something, and do all the things that are important to you. Check, 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 check. So I like the Hyperfocus journal. So if you're not going to use the Hyperfocus journal, you're going to get one that's compact that you can throw in your purse or take with you in the car, or take with you to work, because when they're so big, like the notebook, I would never take those. When I worked 50 hours a week, I was using a notebook at that time, and I would never take it to work because it was so bulky and big. So that's why personally, why I created this, because I like to just throw my journal along with me so I can refer back to my goals throughout the day. And then when I get home, usually after I get the kids from school, I'm checked out from work and my to-dos and stuff like that. So I usually take it then, and then I go set it next to my nightstand. That way that when I go to bed, Joey's usually still up doing some things like picking up the kitchen or taking a shower after work or putting his kids to bed. My kids go to bed a little bit earlier. So during that time, I take out my page, and usually I journal in the morning. When I journal, I only use half the page. So the second half of the page is when I do my nighttime routine. Now, I can tell you all the supplements or things that I do with that, but that might be for another episode. Basically, I'm into mouth taping. I haven't been consistent with that lately, so I don't even want to talk about that. But mouth taping, you need to Google it. It helps you with so many. Okay, we won't get into it. And then I take a magnesium and B6 supplement that I can also put in the show notes. And then what else do I do? Obviously, brush your teeth, wash your face, skincare routine. I have that whole nighttime routine. But my main nighttime routine that I wanted to share with you is that I sit down, and that second half of the page, I will write down 3 things. So 3 things that I learned today that were good about my day. So it's just bringing your awareness to the good. And even if you had the crappiest day ever, think about, I want to challenge you to do this. Okay. Listen to me. This might be a little difficult, but I want you to try to, even if you had the crappiest day, what could you have learned from it? What's a blessing from those bad experiences? How can you prevent them? Like, I'm like a solution person. Joey's just like, oh yeah, he keeps going and living his life in the moment, which is great. But I'm the person that's trying to foresee the problems before they arise and find a solution. And so I'm like, hey, we better do this so then X, Y, and Z doesn't happen. So that's another thing that you can do. What are some solutions? What are some things I could do better tomorrow or this week? And then you can write another thing that you're grateful for throughout your day. Just journal. Just a couple things. Again, this will take less than 3 minutes to do that nighttime journaling. And then I like to obviously flip the page to the next daily page in my journal. And if there's any to-dos that I can think of that I'm in my mind right now, I like to write them down, even though that's part of my morning routine for the next day. I like to do it at night because it helps me sleep. So I'm not thinking about, oh, I got to do this tomorrow. I got to do that tomorrow. I'm getting it out of my mind and on paper. So it just relaxes me. So that is basically, in a nutshell, my morning routine and a little tiny bit of my nighttime routine. I want to hear from you though. So like I said, make sure that you go to Obsessed or Not Interested or at Mindy Wender on Instagram and just share with me, what's your morning routine, or even just like a tiny piece of your morning routine that you know helps you. I want to feature you so I can share, and you'll be helping more people by doing that. And then as always, I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. Every single week, a new episode drops. I get DMs from you guys. I get new ratings and reviews, and I get to read your words. That seriously is my love language. I know I say this a lot, but that means the world to me. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing this on your social media. Thank you for, posting this on your stories. Thank you for taking the time to follow the show on Apple or Spotify and rating and review that. So if you could just take literally 2 seconds right now out of your day and rate and review this podcast, that would mean so much to me. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to this episode of Obsessed or Not Interested, and I'll talk to you next week. Seriously, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Obsessed or Not Interested podcast. I love connecting with you on social media. So if you guys want, please shoot me a DM at either our podcast Instagram, which is at Obsessed or Not Interested, or even my personal Instagram, which is at Mindy Wender. I check them both, so either is fine. Oh, and truly, if this has helped you even 1%, if you could do me a huge solid and leave me a rating and review, that would mean the world to me. When you guys do that, here's why I really love it. It's because it helps the podcast be able to reach more women who want and need this. So truly, that is like the best compliment you could ever give me, is just leaving ratings and reviews for this podcast. Anything that I talked about in today's episode, any links or resources, you will find that in the show notes. Thank you for listening to today. Can't wait to chat more in the DMs, and don't forget to tune in next Tuesday.